Free Desert Boy here. I just wanted to howdy and just hope everybody's doing okay out there. Just wanted to give you a quick range report on the Colt Detective Special, Series 4, and took it to the range today. Shot primarily from 5 to 7 yards only. So I was trying to get a feel for that. I do know Colt cylinders rotate and I believe it's clockwise direction if I'm remembering correctly, or as Colt enthusiasts might say, the right direction. But anyway, I had a chance to go out there and was able to use some of my existing holsters that were sized enough for my Ruger LCR and so forth that I could use it with that holster with that Colt Detective Special for now, and 38 Special. I did shoot primarily 38 Special, although the manual that comes with it does talk about, you can shoot 38 Special plus P under certain circumstances, but you need to read the manual or look at the instructions that Colt provides. I think you see in my other video that Colt did say, and this particularly in these Series 4s like this, where they were steel construction and Detective Specials, that you could shoot plus P's, but they recommended you return to the factory after a certain amount of time for that. Anyway, enough of that. As far as the range report goes, for me, shooting the Colt was, I really like the gun. I like the grip of it and everything. I did shoot it left-handed one time and right-handed one time, and mostly shot, unusual configuration of two hands and so forth. For me, I was a little distressed at first because I was not as accurate as I'm used to being. It was a challenge for me today shooting it for some reason. And usually if it was normal circumstances, I probably would have taken about, maybe 5 different kinds of 38 and maybe 3 different kinds of plus P, which that's about what I had. But I only had a couple of, I had 3 different kinds of 38 Special, but I didn't have as many like FMJ kind of rounds. I had some Norma 158 grain FMJs. I had some Remington lead round nose 158 grain and some 158 grain lead round nose PMCs. Those were primarily my 38 loads, with the exception of 6 Hornady 110 grain FTX critical defense that I shot, all in 38 Special. As far as the 38 Special plus P goes, I did shoot, I believe I shot, I can't quite remember, I'm going to have to look at my footage, but I did shoot Spear Gold Dot hollow point lawman or duty type ammunition, 125 grain for those, and I may have shot the 110 grain FTX plus P's critical defense, but I know I shot, the last thing I shot was the Spear lawman or critical duty, I think they call it, or duty ammunition. So anyway, it's the LE ammunition. So that shot okay. I think I'm used to getting more bullseyes, and I'm used to how things go with my LCR. And whenever I've shot, say, somebody's Smith & Wesson or something like that, this is, and of course with my Ruger Bisley or my Wrangler, so I'm used to shooting revolvers, I guess is what I'm saying. So I was, it wasn't bad. It's just, I think I'm trying to learn how to shoot essentially a new firearm for me, and I expected it to be the same kind of outcome that I've had from what I did in the past, and sometimes it's just not that way. Now the shooting wasn't bad, I'll let you judge for yourself. It wasn't great, I won't say that. I feel like I need more practice, and like I said, what really would have worked out well is when I have a lot of different types of 38 Specials to choose from, I keep trying different ammunition, and I keep trying to pay attention to how I'm squeezing the trigger, my hold, am I holding it, are my thumbs behind, or my thumbs kind of more alongside, provided they're back behind the cylinder. You don't want it up in that area. things like that. I shot a few rounds single action, but it's mostly double action practice, because that's how I would expect to use the firearm. So normally I would do that until I find, the ammunition. It's a sweet spot for that firearm. Certain ones just seem to really like certain loads better. Now that Spear Gold Dot 125 grain plus P seemed to be the best of the more like the probably self-defense loads. But as of the with the all the other 38 special, just kind of target ammunition, I couldn't seem to find anything that was happy. What I really like to do, I've been wanting to order some like a double tap, wad cutter or semi-wad cutters, and I think maybe something like that might be more appropriate. I know they do have some. They also exclusively make like Colt defensive ammunition. Fortunately, right now everything's out. Nowhere here in town can you find 38. I'm shooting out of what limited supply I have, so I had to try to be judicious today and still try to determine whether I felt comfortable at a comfortable accuracy level, for shooting the firearm. So my plan is to go back to the range again, try to get some more ammunition, check it out, try to pay more attention. At the end, I began to realize, what I was doing more with the iron sights as far as trying to get it more zeroed in. And then sometimes that's what you have to do. You just have to try to figure out what exactly am I doing to make it, because it was shooting high, I mean really high, where it wasn't even hitting some of the smaller targets. So, and yet I still shot some bullseyes. So there's something that I'm doing that isn't consistent that's causing it to shoot like that, or the gun doesn't shoot consistently. It's one of the two, or it's not the right ammo, like I said. So sometimes you got to be patient with that. I remember when I first had my 45-70, believe me, I went through some ammunition. I probably went through, 70 to 120 rounds before I felt like I got it where it should be. And that's a pretty expensive sighting in process for 45-70. So normally this wouldn't be as expensive, it's not available. So anyway, that's my range report. I do like the firearm, I like the size, I like having 6 shots instead of 5. It's kind of in between, feels like it's in between the K and the J frame. So my hands are a little bigger and the J frames are just not comfortable for me in general. So that's how it worked for me, and you just have to see what's right for you when you go out and do that, right? And as always, follow all your safety rules and range rules and all your local, state, and federal firearms laws, especially if you're looking at, CCW or even open carry. Just make sure you're following the rules, and make sure you take the time to practice, because even though ammunition's hard to find, it's still important that we practice. So as Desert Boy always says, be safe out there, whatever you're doing. Bye now.